scheduled to do commentary for this race, but as he is not here and I am around, I will be taking you through this wonderful journey of the Super Metroid 100% race between InNoRush and Ivan, and the race has already begun. So let's get this underway. This is going to be an interesting race here. We will be seeing two different routes coming out from these two players. InNoRush is going to be going for the more standard route that has been ran for the past couple of years, where Crocomire will be done early so that players can get grapple for Spring Ball once they enter Meridia, whereas Ivan will be going with an updated route from a route that was ran about 4 to 5 years ago that was then swapped for the route that InNoRush is doing, where Spring Ball is gotten via ice clipping through the floor and saving Crocomire until after Lord Norfair. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everyone's doing well. Both players off of Siri Station now. Onto the planet Zebes. Or Zebes. Zebes. Should I be using Live Streamer? I've been using the multi. Okay. Alright, sounds good. Ivan with a little bit of a mishap there, saying in the chat he can't count. Happens to everybody a couple of times. I know it definitely happens to me where I end up miscounting those platforms. For those of you not knowing exactly what we're talking about counting, there are 6 platforms as you fall down through the climb that players typically count. Most players do. Some players do other things. But just so that you know when to move away from the wall and to the left to avoid all the platforms and fall all the way down without hitting the ground. Looking like a wall climb from Ivan. There's multiple different strats that you can use for ascending through the climb. The one that we see Ivan doing and looks like InNoRush as well. Going for the typical climb where you wall jump up the side. There's another method where you can ledge grab along the platforms. Both of them very quick. And pretty technical too. Doing a lot of wall jumps back to back to back. It's pretty tough to get them, you know, consistently without, you know, missing one or maybe breaking spin or having something go wrong. So all these first rooms in the first about 5 minutes of the game are very technical and can really separate players out, you know, should things not go in their way, in their favor. I've been having a nice BT. See how InNoRush fares with the Bomb Chorizo fight. Taking damage and getting absolutely 0 missile drops. Really, really unfortunate. For the Bomb Chorizo fight, that's a fight where drop manipulation through having full health is key, as evidenced by that fight from InNoRush. When you have, excuse me, the way that drops work in this game is when you have a maximum of something, health, missiles, supers, power bombs, you will not get those drops from an enemy or a boss or whatever. So in the Bomb Chorizo fight, by having full health, you will manipulate the drops to only be missiles. And unfortunately, InNoRush didn't have full health, and he just got screwed by RNG there and got only health and no missiles at all. So that was unfortunate for him, but still unfazed and chugging along. I've been getting the first waiver deboost. It can be pretty tricky since it's like pretty much a blind deboost. And gets the return deboost as well. So there's a pretty tricky mock ball coming up here for Ivan. The return green Brinstar mock ball, and ooh, doesn't quite jump high enough before getting it. But what you would have seen there, should he have gotten it, is you actually can morph and mock ball underneath the gates. Even though they started closing before you even have control of Samus, you can get underneath them and roll back across instead of having to go back up through the super attic again. It's pretty tricky though, so you know, no worries there for not getting that. We'll see if how InNoRush does with that. Okay, sure, just give me a minute. I'm having some issues getting live streamer to work. I'll keep trying in the meantime. But Ivan heading on into Kraid's lair. Gonna be taking down Kraid, hopefully with the Kraid quick kill. As we've seen numerous times in the past months over the various tournaments, as InNoRush grabs Spazer and will be heading to do the same thing. Now, these two routes that I did mention will be diverging after these players grab Wave Beam, where Ivan will be skipping Crocomire and going straight to the wreck ship, grabbing Ice beforehand, whereas InNoRush will be doing Crocomire and delaying Ice Beam more than likely. Aha! That might be what it is. Thank you. A very nice Kraid there from Ivan. My apologies, everybody. I am attempting to get myself set up with another stream viewer, but I'll be back commentating in just a moment. Okay, Fiesel, if you want to give me those timestamps, I am ready for them. Okay, can you let me know when they're at 15:05? Okay, great, thank you. Okay. Alright, we should be in business now. Sorry about that, everyone. I hope you were enjoying the watching without me saying things. But now you have me back. Alright. Ivan just about to pick up Wave, and then like I was saying, he's gonna head up and grab Ice Beam. The reason why you wait to grab it now, typically you'll see in the route that InNoRush does, is you typically skip and wait to grab Ice Beam, as you could save yourself a trip back through that room towards Ice, and you just pick it up on your way to Lower Norfair. So you are backtracking a little bit in the route that Ivan will be doing. However, you do need Ice Beam to Ice Clip to Spring Ball, so that's why you're going to grab it now. And overall, it is faster to do that. Among, all of the other new tech that's been found in the last couple of months, improved strategies and whatnot that made this route faster again over the one that InNoRush is doing. So there Ivan goes, jumping right on over Crocomire and heading on through the Frog Speedway to grab Ice and leave Norfair. Gotta go fast. InNoRush is now in a rush. That was lame, I know. Give me some time, I'll come up with something better. But he does now have Speed Booster. Having quality super drops, not so quality health, however. But health in his situation, not too much of a problem at this point, as he's gonna, have more farming opportunities, as well as grabbing another E-Tank after Croc, whereas Ivan, the last chance that he has in his route to really get a bunch of health is that speed farm well. And having, mid to high 300-ish health after that farming well is pretty ideal for the route that Ivan's doing, so that you can do all of the Shine Sparks. That would be optimal until you get to Fantoon, and then have a comfortable amount of health for the Fantoon fight, as he has very, very good health, perfect health right now. So you're gonna see him do the Alpha Spark right now. And then an Ocean Fly as well before he gets to Fantoon, and he'll have plenty of health for Fantoon to be comfortable in that fight. Agreed, Enmet. Jack Tool is the only one worthy of being saved. Here is the Crocomire fight. So now, since Enmet is doing this now, it will appear that Ivan is, a couple minutes ahead, farther ahead than he actually is. You will tell the true difference between the two players once Ivan has gone through Lower Norfair and gone up the Norfair elevator on his way towards X-Ray in approximately 50 minutes from now. No, that's not right. Maybe more like 40 to 45. I didn't see how many swipes InNoRush got from Crocomire, but it doesn't look like he got very many, so pretty decent RNG there from him. I believe it's about a 50-50 chance on whether or not you get a swipe or not from Crocomire. Each swipe losing you about a second. Looks like Ivan got the Ocean Fly. Yes, he did. You want that missile to be pretty much all the way off screen, and then initiate your spark, so that you don't despawn the missile and it hits the door soon enough so that it opens all the way before you crash into it. You just pass right on through. So nice job there from Ivan. Has tons and tons of health. Not a worry for him, but he's not done worrying about health yet, as health is still a concern at this point. After acquiring the wreck ship energy tank, much more so than it is in the route that InNoRush will be doing, since at that point InNoRush will have an extra tank over Ivan. The reason for this is for a pretty cool shine spark through the gauntlet, which we'll talk about a little bit more once it gets to that point. For now, we're going to see the X Factor method come out on Phantoon from Ivan. We'll wait and see what kind of RNG we get from him. Where InNoRush is going to get one of the missiles that I really disliked getting back in this route. If you miss those rippers there, it's rip run. Not really, but it's quite the time loss. Getting a fast from Ivan there. Really nice start off to the Phantoon fight. We'll see what kind of pattern he gets now. Not another fast. It would have been a rare pattern there. Looks like Ivan's going to be doing a Doppler method to finish off Phantoon. Pretty good idea in this route, as power bombs are a hot commodity in this part of the game. But very nice, a fast mid from Ivan there. Good RNG, pretty decent RNG. I mean, second to best. Getting okay drops. His health is looking good, and power bombs he got 2, which is pretty good. 7 for right now is pretty decent. It's gonna be in more than enough. Well, just about enough for him. He might need to hold off on using a power bomb in the bowling room. It's not very often that you have 4 power bombs in the bowling room, which would be optimal. You need to use 3 power bombs in that room to be completely optimal, and you just don't have that because you're short a power bomb pack, the one that you don't get at Crocomire. So health and power bomb management can be pretty tough in this route. I've been heading through the Spike Room of Death. Going for the... Nope, just kidding. Looked like he was setting up for the bounce ball method, but deciding just to go for some deboosts on the spikes and makes it through. Let's see how he does with the bomb jump. If you get a good method for it, a good setup for it, it's pretty simple, but things can go wrong. Ivan does a little safety bomb jump there. A good way to set it up. But gets it, no problem there. An extra little bomb jump. Takes about a second, but if you're not comfortable without doing that, it's definitely worth taking that 1 second to be a little bit safer than falling down and losing a bunch of time. Ripper's giving InNoRush a little bit of difficulty, but he does end up making it up and through the top of Red Tower. Going to clean up the top of Red Tower before heading into the wreck ship. Nice attic from Ivan. So this is where Ivan needs to really be careful with his health here. After grabbing that E-Tank, you only have about 260-ish health to play with. You want to have 225 pretty much at minimum. You can be a little bit lower than that, but it's not the best situation to put yourself in by the time you get to the gauntlet spark. So he's got about a little around 260-ish health to play with here. So definitely wants to take as little damage as possible. And his powerbomb count is looking very good. I missed if he farmed any. Sometimes the bulls in the first super room will position themselves in such a way where you can just grab their power bombs optimally as you just, make your way back through the room with your D-boost, with your normal strats, which is pretty nice. That might have been what happened. I didn't actually, I wasn't looking at that time. InNoRush lays his powerbomb too far to the left, unfortunately. There he goes, and opens that up. Ivan getting a nice bowling spark. I think InNoRush didn't make it on that platform. It doesn't look like... Yeah, he was just slightly too low there. Didn't quite make it all the way over. Tinfoil hat, I'm gonna refrain from answering your question on the principle of not cursing, not inflicting the commentator's curse on these players. So you see Ivan doing some wall jumps there. Now that is to save some health from the Shine Spark. He didn't really need to do so many wall jumps there. He's got a decent amount of health. He's going to be fine, but doing that is going to make him be able to go comfortably more quickly in the Criteria Powerbomb room, which can be a room that if you want to go fast, you got to take a little bit of damage to do so. And InNoRush working his way to Phantoon. Let's see what kind of RNG he can get. How well the ghost treats him. Ooh, coming in just a little too high there for the speedball to break those blocks, unfortunately. So Ivan's got one more Shine Spark to do that should put him around 250, 260-ish energy, depending on how high he jumps. Yeah, there he goes, 250. And now he's got about 26 energy to play with there. Looking like a slow opener. Round one for InNoRush. And most likely a mid here. There it is. Oh, and wow. Very, very nice 2-round from InNoRush. That second X Factor was very, very close to missing, but he managed to pull it off. Ivan at exactly the health that he needs. Now, if he had anything less than this, you can be like 2 or 3 less than that and still be fine. But anything more than that, you'll need to charge your spark on the lower path and then do a running jump and jump out farther than the platform, and doing so wouldn't seem like necessarily a difficult thing to do. But you don't have a very large vertical window to initiate your spark in, because if you're too high, you'll bonk above the door. If you're too low, you'll bonk on the platform that you hit with your shine spark. So, oh go! Wow, Ivan recovering barely. Woo! My goodness. Oh. Nearly having a tragic fall down the left-hand side only of the gauntlet. That would have been a major time loss for him had he not been able to barely jump back out before those crumble blocks locked him underneath there. One of the three main places. It would have just been, I don't even really know what to call it. Had he had another blunder with crumble blocks, as him and myself had yesterday, I wouldn't know what to say about that. But that is one of three locations where crumble blocks can greatly affect your run, as in make you lose a ton of time. So upwards, 40 seconds to over a minute, depending on... Fuzda is exactly correct. That is literally... The word blunder is just in my subconscious, and I was primed. I was primed by the chess today. Anyway, InNoRush having a little trouble in this room. Those platforms fall pretty quickly if you don't jump off of them right away, and as soon as you get in the water, you cannot get them to go back up. Just by jumping off of... Well, you can, but it takes quite some time. So... Oh man, InNoRush really struggling here. I would suggest that he just uses grapple. Instead of trying to make the jump from the door to the first platform, I would suggest just using grapple to get across to it, just to be safe. Maybe it's just the principle of the idea. He just wants to stick with the strats that he knows, and eventually does make it over to that E-tank. And does make it out of there. Now, InNoRush is in the same boat as Ivan, where now he needs to, or as Ivan was, rather, where he does need to manage his health, but he, like I said earlier, he has an additional 100 energy to play with. But he is still under the same health constraint for the Gauntlet Spark. I've been getting a nice pink Brinstar Powerbomb escape, and getting Blue Suit to kill these side hoppers. Nice job. I've been going for the Spore Spawn skip. A real brief explanation. Projectiles only persist for 2 tiles off screen before they despawn, and as clearly that super missile block is more than 2 tiles. It's like... I don't know exactly. If I just had to take a guess, it looks about 5 tiles off screen. 4 or 5. And the way that you hit that block with the super is you manipulate the screen in such a way that you shoot the super, and then it travels so quickly that before it can despawn, it hits the block and allows you to pass through, completely skipping Spore Spawn. And InNoRush getting some nice robot clips. Those robots can be very finicky and very, very annoying. Should they start randomly walking backwards, you can only clip through them when they're walking towards you. And sometimes they just randomly decide to walk away from you, and then you've got nothing to do other than just suck up the time loss and shoot them backwards. So the reason that Ivan lays that power bomb there is to open up the power bomb door at the top of this room, so he does not have to do it and wait later on. More efficient to do it now than later, in this case. Ooh, excellent blockbuster from Ivan. Very nice trick. Tricky because you need to manage your speed. You can't just go full speed ahead and hold run the whole time on that platform. You do actually need to manage your speed and release your run at a certain point to have the proper speed so you don't bonk into that door. As InNoRush gets to take a little bit of a break here as he waits for bowling. His health situation is looking pretty good right now. And Ivan's time situation is looking pretty good right now as well. He's on pretty good pace. And been maintaining it this entire time. Playing overall very, very solidly. But he has now entered my favorite, but definitely widely considered one of the most difficult segments in the 100% speedrun, the Meridia segment. It's very technical and very difficult. And as I say this, I have commentators cursed Ivan, having a little trouble with those short charges, but does end up getting it. Alright, and InNoRush has gravity now. And his health is still looking pretty good. He will have... Yeah, he should definitely have enough energy to be able to do the Gauntlet Spark without having to refill the ship at this point, bar any major tragedy in the Criteria Powerbomb room. Here goes InNoRush, getting his spark up to the top. Plenty of health there. And looks like he is definitely going to be taking it a little safe. As Ivan is doing his beach cleanup of Meridia. And InNoRush now will be setting up for the wraparound shot that I neglected to mention when Ivan was doing it. He is in the correct pixel position. With Wave Beam, there is one pixel that you must stand on where the wraparound works, and then you must move in such a way that the shot does wrap around and open the door on the other side of the screen, nailing that Gauntlet Spark. Awesome job from InNoRush. It's Ivan coming up on Botwoon. Open up with an X Factor and followed by 6 super missiles. We'll see what kind of the 4 patterns that he will get. 3 of them are not too bad. One of them, you can still one-round him, although it is a little bit more difficult. Your timing for your supers needs to be pretty good. He doesn't give you a whole lot of time to hit him. Connected with those, and this is that pattern. And Ivan nailing it. InNoRush did a little bit of a safer strat than Ivan did at the Gauntlet, where he left the bottom row of shot blocks remaining there, so he could set up for a fall that would not guarantee that he would not fall on either one side or the other. I've been getting a nice full halfie. So Dragon's a very technical boss as well. Damaging her with Shine Sparks is the fastest way to kill her. 150 damage per frame that you are inside her hitbox, which the longest time that you can spend in her hitbox is if you go like about right through her neck, opening up with another X Factor that does quite a bit of damage. Very excellent opener there from Ivan. Does not get the good RNG with the goop first pattern there, but does get goop in the next pattern. Interestingly, sparks from across the room, not the most optimal way to fight Dragon. Unfortunately, got the wrong unmorph frame for Spike Suit. So much that I wanted to talk about, but he just keeps Ivan just going too fast for me to explain everything. So the way that Spike Suit works is when you unmorph, you've got 2 frames to unmorph, I get these mixed up, but I believe you've got 2 frames to unmorph. One of them is a good frame, and one of them is a bad frame. And if you unmorph on the bad frame, well, either way, you have then 1 frame to activate your spark. And if you had unmorphed on the bad frame, then you will activate your spark, but you won't gain Spark Suit. But if you unmorph on the good frame and then you hit the 1 frame to activate the Shine Spark, then you will get the Spark Suit. And oh no! InNoRush's jump slightly too short and falls down into the Decora pit. But makes it right back out. Ivan going for the blue suit keep. He nails it. Does not risk a soft lock. Well, I mean, technically he did risk a soft lock, but didn't lose the blue and had to jump back out before the speed blocks reformed there. Turning on Ice and Spazer to set up for the ice clip that he's going to be doing, where he has to freeze the enemy Puyo, where you have a 2-frame window to do so, to freeze him in the proper position to be able to clip through the floor. Any runner that does not get this first try pretty much essentially loses all of the time that they save from this route. That is how minor the time saves are over both of the routes here. It's pretty essential that you can get this trick first try. Every failure costs around 10 to 15 seconds, depending on how you fail. But I've been getting it first try. Easy peasy every time. And shoutouts to our buddy Shaq Tool. Okay, sure. Great. Yes. Okay. I'm synced back up now. Thank you. All right, and there's Spring Ball for Ivan. No, dude. Oh, no. I'm so upset. That's too That's 2 already in this tournament. Ivan, please, why? Killing Shaktul. Is it an offense punishable by my loss of respect? Can you get a Yo Spring Ball, Nutella? Yo Spring Ball? You sure can, my friend. So now that Ivan has acquired Spring Ball, the awesome strats in this run that 100% is known for are going to come out starting right now. Never mind, he bonked the door. JK, Ivan, you make me look like a fool. Thank you. But there's a cool strat in that room where you can bounce up all the way to the top. Anyway, lots of other awesome Spring Ball strats to follow. Getting a super drop from that Scree from InNoRush. Not a common drop. As well as a power bomb from those Zoas for Ivan. Alright, let's see if he gets this Spring Ball into the Aqueduct items. Yes, he does. And with a nice down grab, making it up there. Speed is very important for that trick. Not having enough will result in breaking the blocks, but not quite making it up. And Ivan had just a perfect amount of speed, such that with that down grab, he made it up just enough. Oh, InNoRush getting the nice shot there, not having to slow down or stutter whatsoever, and getting that super off to open the door without bonking. Very, very nice. It's a pretty tight, tight super shot to make it through there. Getting a nice double D boost there from Ivan, who is remaining on very good pace still. Ooh, not quite hitting that Spring Ball jump in time, unfortunately. Missing the crate entrance Spring Ball, but that's alright. Gonna be attempting a strat here. A speed ball. Very, very precise. We've talked about words. We've talked about precise tricks in the past. But this is tough. Your speed needs to be very, very precise. If you're going too fast, just a little bit too fast or a little bit too slow, you are not going to get that speed ball. And unfortunately, he was going a little bit too fast. That is a hard trick. But now you can see Ivan going to grab, or excuse, I don't know why I thought he was going to get ice now. He's now going through ice, towards ice, but not going to get it. Grabbing these missiles on his way to Lower Norfair. One of my favorite deboosts in the game. So simple, but so elegant off of that Nova. And InNoRush coming up on Botwoon here. Let's see how he does. And a good chronic boost from Ivan on his way into Lower Norfair. Ooh. 3 of those connected, and looks like he got another 3 supers in. He needs to get 4 more on Botwoon. Just 1 more will do it, and there he goes. So 2 round on Botwoon. Not too shabby. Can't tell if that's far enough for Ivan. Yeah, okay, it should work. There he goes, making that spring ball strat. Very, very nice. Unfortunately, missing the faster strat to get to the missile there. Ivan being careful to morph before hitting those crumble blocks and just hold jump so that you will jump the frame you hit those blocks and not risk falling down and having to go all the way around for those missiles. Pretty good opener there on Dragon for InNoRush. Not getting the good RNG, getting a goop, but does end up getting it. Gets another good Shine Spark. 1 more should do it. It doesn't look like he was able to get through. Ivan somehow breaking his spin in the middle of those blocks and stopping in the pillar in fast pillars. Now InNoRush struggling a little bit with the Dragon fight. Ivan being very careful in Mickey Mouse Room not to have a repeat of yesterday, and down goes Dragon for InNoRush. And you'll see Ivan trying to kill as many of these key hunters as he can to reduce the most amount of lag in this room. Killing all of the key hunters saves numerous seconds in this room. The exact number escapes me, but between both of those power bombs, having all of the key hunters in that room generates an enormous amount of lag when you lay the power bomb, so killing them reduces a lot of that, saving quite a bit of time. Ivan has quite a few supers. I would not be surprised to see him use 15 of them on this Ridley fight. We'll more than likely see 10 charge shots and followed by 15 supers. Or not. It looks like he's going to be saving his supers, which is also a viable option. Not losing that much time overusing them, but arguably you could lose time in the long run using a bunch of supers on Ridley and not having many for Turian. A very nice Ridley fight regardless from Ivan. As we have InNoRush going to into his first sand pit of Meridia. And going to grab Spring Ball. Where we will see the intended way to get Spring Ball by using Grapple Beam and getting up through the broken grapple block. Oh, Ivan's cutting his D-boost a little bit short there. You want to carry that D-boost a little bit farther. There's a little acorn thing on the ceiling. I don't really know what to call it. It's a decorative ornament that you want to end your D-boost just to the right of that. And should you do so, then you'll have enough invulnerability frames to make it past that last Disgiga, regardless of the RNG that it gives you. Unfortunately, Ivan cut his D-boost a little bit short, and the Disgiga gave him a short hop, so he did get hit by that and disrupted the short charge. InNoRush, keeping our Buddy Shack tool company, consoling him over the loss of his self in a parallel universe. I don't think this is going to work for Ivan. He might break the first block, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to make it. Wow! Eat my words, myself. My goodness, I was not expecting that to work. I was absolutely sure he was too... he had jumped too late there, but nice on Ivan getting the Harubi special. Very nice Spring Ball. Ivan just making me look like a fool every which way in his run. Oh, nearly getting the Mock Ball there as well. That Mock Ball is incredibly difficult. Another trick where your speed matters. And there are those Franker Face Z missiles. Let's see that in the chat. See your favorite dog, your favorite cat, favorite animal, favorite shack tool. The reason that you see InNoRush laying a powerbomb there, for whatever reason, the standing space pirates and the space pirates on the walls, they are considered different enemies, and for whatever reason, the ones on the walls are vulnerable to power bombs. So the reason why he laid the power bomb a little bit too far to the left there, but the goal was to lay it more in the center of the room so it hits each of the two pirates on the walls one time, and that activates their And when they get attacked, they want to jump across the room. So optimally, he would have hit them both with the power bomb, triggered the left one to jump across, and then killed them both on the right-hand side. That was the goal with that there. And now we're going to see Ivan head on into Crocomire, which should be a breeze with Plasma Beam. And we'll see another attempt at the spike suit, hopefully getting the good frame this time. Oh, misses the spring ball over Crocomire. You can actually, within the first second or two after you shoot him, you are able to spring ball over his head, get behind him, teleported backwards to the spike wall, and then wait over there off screen, let him die, and then scroll the screen back towards you, giving you the ability to attempt spark suits now while you were waiting for him to die. Give yourself an extra about 2 or 3 attempts at the spark suit. And it looks like Ivan did not quite get it there, and nope. Not quite. He's not unmorphing at the proper time, as you can see. You'll know if you get the proper unmorph if Samus gets knocked up higher if you get the proper unmorph. Whereas you saw he was only getting about a quarter of the way up the screen, whereas if you get the proper unmorph frame, you get knocked about halfway up the screen. And then from there, it's just, did you get the proper frame? Good one or the bad one? If it's the good one, then you've got 1 frame to activate your spark. And as Ivan grabs grapple, InNoRush heading back into Kraid's lair to grab that missile pack, that pain in the butt missile pack that requires power bombs to grab, and it's just out of the way no matter what you do, unless you're TAS. Or you want to just go really slow and do really hard things for the sake of no backtracking that would just automatically make you slower. So now is when you see InNoRush going to grab Ice Beam before he heads on into Lower Norfair. Ivan getting the nice super shot there on the gate, and then the Mach Ball to roll right on underneath. Excuse me. And make his way on out to X-Ray. Exciting to just take damage and just run on through that room. Not a bad choice by InNoRush. That room can be pretty tricky to get through without taking damage. You got to do some well-timed ice beam shots, and hope for good RNG from the side hoppers, the little Disgigas, so that they don't get in your way. I'm not sure that's entirely feasible RTA cross-product. It'd probably be around the same difficulty as doing this as Crystal Flash clipping to get the GT missiles. It'd just be a matter of getting back up into position in time, as well as, you know, being in the proper position as well. I've been setting up for reverse slinky. Okay, never mind. Didn't look like he was even planning on attempting. Didn't morph there. InNoRush with no problem getting the GT missile. Shows those crumble blocks who's boss. But not quite getting GT into the proper positioning there, or getting himself into the proper position to force GT into the free kill tile. Not doing the wraparound here, Ivan. There's a wraparound shot you can do there as you go down to open up the door on the left-hand side of the room. Not necessarily saving you any time, but definitely makes going through that door with more speed a lot easier. Getting that door to open with more speed as you run across is a lot less consistent than just having the door open already and being able to just run through with whatever speed you want, really. And a nice fast pillars from InNoRush as he makes his way to the Mickey Mouse missiles. Being very, very careful not to roll too far onto the crumble blocks there. Didn't get reverse slinky, but got poverty slinky there, so nice job, Ivan. You got that going for you, as well as still a pretty good run going. I believe it is, at this point, PB pace. Also, nice door opening sound. I'm not sure which audio y'all have on the Speed Gaming channel, but if it's Ivan's audio, you would have heard a funny little door opening sound. Sometimes the door opening sounds, if there's other sounds that are going on simultaneously or whatnot, it can change the sound and make it sound funny. But we'll be able to see what kind of pace Ivan is on once he hits G4 here, but it's looking like it is PB pace. By a couple of seconds. By a couple of seconds, I mean, like, it looks like 15-ish, around 15. This Pirate's kicking InNoRush around a little bit, but does eventually take him down. So many personal bests or PB-based runs in this tournament so far. Let's see what Ivan can do. Very good. Metroid's 1. Metroid's 2 didn't get the D-boost through the door, but gets a nice Metroid's 3. Deciding to... Oh, not... Okay, not to group room 4. Good choice. And InNoRush getting pretty low on his health here with Ridley. He does have reserves. I don't know how much he has. He needs to be very careful. He's about to hit those reserves. If he doesn't... He needs to be very careful here. 49-19. One more hit will kill him. Unless it's the fire. 4 health. Ridley is dead. I think. No, he's not. Never mind. Oh, no. And he goes down. But Ivan with the Metroid skip. Looks like he's going to get it. He gets it. Unfortunately, InNoRush does die to Ridley. But Ivan's still on very good pace here. I'm going to refrain from saying anything about his run at this point. Just going to let this play out. 20 charge shots here. Brain 2 is down, setting himself up for the stand-up glitch. He's going to be just above 400 energy, 465. Oh, just kidding. He turned off the area that I missed. So now he just needs to damage himself down below 100. There he goes. He's going to trick Mother Brain, or trick, I guess, the game into thinking that what he did was made Mother Brain want to do different attacks and let him stand up and run around and not lock him down on the ground after that Rainbow Beam. And so now he's able to begin to deal damage to Mother Brain 3 as it starts checking for her health as soon as Mother Brain finishes changing color completely to gray. And there's one more check. There he goes. Making sure that he's off the ground for that second check that will force you onto the ground. Even if he was forced onto the ground, he can just use X-Ray to stand himself back up. Only going for 5 shots. Definitely does not want to soft lock the game here. Ivan is on very good pace right now. So taking that... After that first little hiccup in the stand-up, if you... you've got 7 seconds, basically seven charge shots that you can get off before you want to stop shooting. So unfortunately, we do see InNoRush forfeiting from the race. This is definitely a PB for Ivan. I'm a little bit concerned about my time. This might be in a Wild Anaconda bop. And it's looking like it's going to be. There it is. Finishing with an SRL race time of 1:18:03, bopping me by 3 seconds. Congratulations to Ivan. Oh, hats off to Ivan. What a great PB. That is a PB by, let me look, like 31 seconds. So that's a pretty monster PB for Ivan. Let's give him some clappas or whatever your favorite emote is in the chat. Awesome job to him. Give some love to InNoRush as well. Put up a good fight. He was on a very good pace for himself as well, PB pace, until that unfortunate death at Ridley. Of course, we do still need to wait and clarify the 100%. but I know that Ivan did not miss any items. Get your deer forces ready. There it is, Deer Force. And if you take a look, Feasel posted in chat the next upcoming races. We've got DKC2 at 2 Eastern, 12 hours from now. Followed by more Super Metroid tomorrow. And there it is, 100%. Congratulations again to Ivan. Very, very good run. Definitely been overdue, in my opinion. But thanks everyone for coming out and sticking around, watching this race. Many more Super Metroid races to come in the coming weeks. I was Wild Anaconda 69, and that's all for tonight, folks. So if you liked what you saw, make sure follow the runners. Check out the Feasels in the meantime, posting all of the relevant links that you will need to keep up with matches, all other events going on this channel. You can see the brackets and the schedule for this tournament there as well. So yeah, have a good night, everyone, and I will see you next mission.